Welcome to National 5 Business Management. Lesson 6 Types of Ownership, the Third Sector. So today's learning intentions are we are learning to understand the third sector. Our success criteria, I can describe the features of the third sector and I can distinguish between charities, not-for-profit organisations and social enterprises. So here we have the third sector with some examples. Now, the third sector used to be called the voluntary sector, but it really means it's not for profit and it always tries to help a good cause. There's three categories that most third sector companies, organisations can be put into. You've got charities, social enterprises and local sports clubs like your tennis or golf club. So we can see here, we've got Oxfam, Wild Hearts, which run the Michael Tycho competition. We've got Wild Troon Golf Club and we've got the Big Issue, which is a social enterprise. So let's look at charities. Here's a question for you. What's the connection? Peter Pan, Alan Sugar, Great Ormond Street Hospital. Well, the connection is J.M. Barrie, who wrote Peter Pan, a Scot, he left the rights to Peter Pan to Great Ormond Street Hospital. So any time there's a stage play or musical or film, Great Ormond Street Hospital will receive a percentage of the profits, a royalty so to speak. Whereas Alan Sugar sits on the board of that charity. I don't know if you don't know what Great Ormond Street Hospital is. It's like the old York Hill Sick Kids. It's based in London and it helps sick children. Now, Alan Sugar sits on that board. He's responsible to ensure the running of that charity. He's called a trustee, and so that's what he is. He's entrusted to run it. So you can just see just what I said. Charities are run by trustees. Trustees are entrusted to look after the running and finances of the charity. They're not going to take the money and run away. How do you finance charities? Donations, charity shop sales. When you go into a charity shop and buy something, the money goes to the charity. People give gifts, and also the National Lottery. That's the main kind of way that the charities get their money in the UK. Now, the third sector is not actually driven by profit, but they do need to help parts of the community. And just as we said there, the money normally comes from donations and gifts. Although, as you can see, you can be a social enterprise which is run like a company. Here's an example of a social enterprise. This is the Soapworks story. Soapworks is in Easterhouse, just on the outskirts of Glasgow, and in the late 80s, Anita Roddick, who was the founder of the Body Shop, she got involved where she basically found out that Easterhouse had really, at the time, bad unemployment, and I think there was quite a lot of drug influences and not a lot of opportunities for young people. So she basically helped start up a company which makes soap, and all the money goes back into the local community to help people find work and to get them out of bad influences in their lives, and that's a social enterprise. All the profit goes back into the company. I do recommend you have a look at Soapworks. So features of social enterprises, they are set up as a business. They do make profit, but all the profit goes back into the cause, and we can see that social enterprises usually exist to aid a social or environmental cause. For example, the Big Issue, one of the most famous social enterprises in the UK, exists to help the homeless. So all the money raised by the Big Issue, or the profit, will go back to helping the homeless. So here's a couple of things for you. You can have a go. What's missing? Types of ownership summary. So over the last couple of lessons we've had the private sector, blank, and then the third sector. And we can see the who owns it, the aims of it, and then some examples. So I'll count down from 10 and we'll have a wee look at the answers. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Well, hope you got these answers. Private sector, owned and run by private individuals, aims to make a profit. Some examples: Tesco, Arnold Clark. There's a million and one answers you can give there. The public sector, owned and run by the government, aims to provide a service. Some examples: NHS, BBC, and you can also include your local council. Third sector, owned and run by trustees, aims to further a cause, for example to end poverty or find a cure for cancer. Examples could be Oxfam, Hamilton Lawn Tennis Club. There's many. So your plenary today, have a think about 3 things that you've learned today in this lesson and see if you can write them down or leave in the comments below things that you find interesting. So the success criteria: I can describe the features of the third sector, and I can distinguish between a charity, a not-for-profit organisation, and a social enterprise. So again, just to connect, website www.mrmcgowan.blogspot, Twitter @MrMarcusMcGowan, and for educators, there's my Teachers Pay teacher store. But please keep calm and love business, and I shall see you in the next video.